Miles, please understand.
You can't ask me not to save my father.
I'm not asking.
Miguel, just give him the second.
Great look.
It finally feels like Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse is swinging closer to our screens after what's felt like an eternity of delays, rewrites, and rescheduling. The movie has been through quite a roller coaster since its original announcement, but fans can finally start counting down the days with a bit more confidence. The new release date officially brings the wait down to under 2 years, which is a huge relief because this trilogy has been building up one of the most emotionally charged and visually stunning stories in superhero animation history. Originally planned for a 2024 release, Beyond the Spider-Verse went through several major pushbacks that made many fans wonder if it would even arrive this decade. It was first taken off Sony's release date slate altogether before finally landing a confirmed debut on June 18, 2027, which actually moves it up a week earlier than the previously set June 25th date. It's a small change on paper, but it makes a big difference because it not only puts the movie closer to Father's Day, a weekend that usually brings in strong family audiences, but also gives it some breathing room away from other major releases like Shrek 5, which was delayed to June 30th, 2027. That's a smart move because even though the Shrek series is iconic in its own right, both movies target a similar family audience. By releasing a bit earlier, Beyond the Spider-Verse can dominate that mid-June window and give fans a proper celebration of Miles Morales' next big adventure. The only direct competition now seems to be Pixar's upcoming original Gatto, which sounds fun, but doesn't have the same multiversal pull or brand recognition that the Spider-Verse saga carries. So the odds are in Spidey's favor this time. But beyond box office strategy, the most exciting part of this update is what it means for production progress. After years of uncertainty, it finally looks like the film is in full swing. Greta Lee, who voices Lila, Spider-Man 2099's sarcastic yet loyal AI assistant, confirmed in a recent interview that recording sessions are already done for her role. She described the process as so much fun, saying that it was a mix of everything she loves: comedy, rich world building, and incredibly sharp writing. Lee also mentioned that they recorded a bunch of the material alongside the previous movie Across the Spider-Verse, which makes sense because the two were originally developed as one massive story before being split into 2 films. That detail might not sound like a big deal at first, but it's actually really reassuring. It means that Beyond the Spider-Verse was in development far earlier than people thought, and since much of the voice work was done together, the production team has likely had plenty of time to polish animation, refine story arcs, and make sure the movie delivers a satisfying conclusion to Miles Morales' journey. And that's exactly what fans are expecting after the massive cliffhanger in Across the Spider-Verse. That movie ended with Miles trapped in an alternate universe, face-to-face with a darker version of himself who became the Prowler instead of Spider-Man. Meanwhile, Gwen Stacy and her new team of Spider people are racing to rescue him while Spider-Man 2099 and the Spider Society chase them down, trying to preserve the multiverse's canon events. It's one of the most layered setups in any animated superhero film to date, and Beyond the Spider-Verse has a lot of narrative threads to tie up before the credits roll. It's also worth noting that the cast returning for this third film is packed with familiar names. Shameik Moore is of course back as Miles Morales, and Hailee Steinfeld's Gwen Stacy will continue playing a central role after her emotional arc in the second movie. Jake Johnson returns as Peter B. Parker, now balancing superhero life with fatherhood, while Oscar Isaac's Miguel O'Hara will bring that intense energy back as one of the story's most morally complex figures. Then there's Jason Schwartzman's Spot, whose powers over dimensional travel make him one of the most unpredictable villains the Spider-Verse has ever seen. The lineup doesn't stop there. The ensemble also includes Nicolas Cage's noir Spider-Man, Kimiko Glenn's Penny Parker, John Mulaney's Spider-Ham, Daniel Kaluuya's Spider-Punk, Karan Soni's Paviter Prabhakar, and Amanda Stenberg's Spider-Bite. It's practically an army of web-slingers, and if that weren't enough, rumors persist that Tom Holland's live-action Peter Parker might appear in some form, which would be a jaw-dropping moment that bridges Sony's animated Spider-Verse with the MCU in a truly multiversal fashion. Behind the scenes, the creative team remains consistent, which is a good sign given the track record of the first 2 films. Justin K. Thompson and Bob Pereschetti are returning as directors, while Phil Lord and Christopher Miller are once again writing and producing, joined by Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings screenwriter Dave Callaham. The creative continuity between all 3 movies ensures that Beyond the Spider-Verse will maintain the same tone, humor, and visual brilliance that fans have come to love. And speaking of visuals, that's one of the biggest reasons this trilogy stands out in the superhero genre. Into the Spider-Verse introduced an art style that redefined what animation could look like, a perfect blend of comic book texture, kinetic energy, and heart. Across the Spider-Verse then raised the bar even higher, exploring multiple art styles tailored to each universe, from Gwen's watercolor world to Spider-Punk's anarchic, collage-like aesthetic. So you can only imagine how visually ambitious Beyond the Spider-Verse will be. Earlier reports from CinemaCon 2025 confirmed that Sony previewed a few snippets of the film, with producer Christopher Miller teasing new character designs and some of the most emotionally powerful scenes in the series. Thematically, this third chapter will focus heavily on Miles' growth as a hero, but also as a son, friend, and person who refuses to let destiny dictate his choices. His struggle against canon events, the idea that tragedy is inevitable in every Spider-Man story, has become one of the franchise's most thought-provoking elements. His determination to save his father, even if it risks the stability of the multiverse, is what makes him different from every other Spider-Man before him. That theme is bound to pay off in deeply emotional ways, especially since Brian Tyree Henry, who voices Miles' father Jefferson Davis, hinted that there won't be a dry eye in the house when the credits roll. So even though it's taken years for this movie to get here, the extra time might actually work in its favor. Animation on this scale takes an incredible amount of work, and after how well the first two turned out, fans would rather wait for perfection than rush an unfinished product. Plus, by shifting the release date forward, Sony is sending a clear message: confidence. The studio wouldn't move up a major release like this unless they were sure the movie was on track and shaping up beautifully. What's also interesting is how Beyond the Spider-Verse fits into Sony's broader Spider-Man plans. Producer Amy Pascal confirmed that this film and Spider-Man 4, the next live-action movie with Tom Holland, are the studio's top priorities before expanding into other projects like a live-action Miles Morales movie. That means Beyond the Spider-Verse could serve as both a conclusion and a springboard, wrapping up Miles' animated story while opening the door for a live-action debut. And even though Lord and Miller confirmed that this will officially end Miles' trilogy, it doesn't mean the Spider-Verse itself will stop expanding. Spin-offs like The Spider Within a Spider-Verse Story, Spider-Woman, and Spider-Man Octopus Girl are already in development, proving that the multiverse of Spider-People has endless storytelling potential. It's not hard to imagine future installments diving into new realities or even crossing over with Marvel's live-action universe in the aftermath of Avengers: Secret Wars. Because let's be honest, if any version of Spider-Man deserves to interact with the broader MCU multiverse, it's Miles Morales. His story has redefined what Spider-Man can mean for a new generation. It's bold, emotional, and bursting with creativity. And now that the movie is closer than ever, fans can finally start to look forward to the day when Miles swings back into action, not just to save the multiverse, but to remind everyone why the Spider-Verse remains one of the best superhero trilogies ever made. So even though it took a bunch of delays, production shifts, and scheduling headaches to get here, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse is shaping up to be worth every minute of the wait. With its new June 18, 2027 release date, returning cast, and creative team firing on all cylinders, this finale could easily go down as the modern animated masterpiece, one that ties together everything we love about Spider-Man's legacy and everything we've come to expect from the groundbreaking Spider-Verse saga. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.